Well, we woke up this morning to some pretty incredible PlayStation 5 news, and this is something that actually had been rumored for a little bit, and now we have some confirmation on it. And again, if you're somebody that was really looking forward to getting a PlayStation 5, then this is exactly what you really want to see. And again, I just think that this is something that really kind of reiterates where Sony is in the whole world with the desire to even have a PlayStation 5 versus Microsoft. And I think Microsoft has done an admirable job of trying to come back from the disastrous Xbox One, but people really don't forget very often, or quickly. And when it comes to consumer electronics and things like that, obviously, people go with the brand that they trust, and that really looks like it's boding well for Sony. And so, again, this is something that a lot of people are going to be excited about. Good video up ahead. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and that means a lot to me personally. And shout out to all the new subscribers, old subscribers, and everybody in between. My shows are all completely unscripted. I try to do new gameplay every single day for you guys. I spend a lot of time on this stuff. So the easiest and best thing you can do if you want to show support is just a simple like on the video. You can also always become a member of the channel, or just hit the bell so you're notified of everything as soon as it drops. That would definitely be appreciated. So we did get some more news, which I will be able to link in the description as well, about the PlayStation 5 and what it's going to mean for all of you guys. But again, I just kind of wanted to reiterate a little bit that it was originally thought that the PlayStation 5 would do it looks like, well, they are going to do a worldwide launch at the same time. There was rumors that maybe they would launch first in Japan. Those, it looks like, have been kind of debunked. And it looks like Microsoft is also going to do a worldwide launch. Microsoft is out there, talking up, doing the normal things that they do. Phil Spencer kind of doing the press stuff right now, talking about the PlayStation 5 a little bit, basically saying he likes where he stands with the Xbox Series X. And again, I think the Xbox Series X is going to be in a decent place. I think one of the things that might hurt the Xbox Series X the most is if indeed Lockhart is announced and is real. The main reason for that is, it really kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole situation with, they have the most powerful console. Like, they should really just own that, in my opinion. Hey, we got the most powerful console. You get what you pay for. Because I think that the Series X and the PS5, the main PS5, are going to be the same price anyway. And so I just feel like maybe Microsoft should have did the same thing Sony did. Have a discless SKU and a regular SKU, but both have the same power and things like that. I'm not really sure. Like, according to some people, that if Lockhart is real, you're talking about a 720p to 1080p machine. To be honest with you, I don't know anybody that even owns a 1080p monitor or console right now. Most everybody I know is upgraded to 4K, so it's going to be very interesting. Even when you go to a store, you can't even find like 1080p or never any 720p stuff. But everything's 4K. We're even starting to see some 8K stuff, so I find that to be very, very interesting. And now with Sony obviously dropping so much news and confirmation and obviously revealing the games and things like that, this should come as no doubt. But you guys have to remember, Sony was only going to be able to do 5 million consoles at launch, right? People were like, well, that's a little bit of a bummer. Only 5 million are going to be available at launch. That really leaves the door open for Microsoft. But now that's not the case. According to this, which will be linked in the description, and if you're new to my channel, I always link all the news articles in the description below. If it's opinion, then I don't have to link that because it's my own opinion. If it's rumor or a leak, I try to link those when possible, but if it's sometimes, it's somebody that wants to stay anonymous, then I let them do that, and I just tell you to take everything with a grain of salt. But this looks really, really interesting. Sony Corporation is roughly doubling its PlayStation 5 production to 10 million units this year, due to the effects of the pandemic that's going on, boosting demand for gaming. According to the sources, the electronics giant has informed assembly partners and suppliers it's radically increasing orders for its next generation consoles, though logistics may yet pose a challenge to delivering all those machines on time for the holiday shopping season. The people said, asking to remain anonymous. Sony had previously aimed to do 5 to 6 million PS4 units by the end of March, according to Bloomberg. That was something that I had talked about before. You guys might remember that, just because of the fact was, that was a little bit less than the PS4 had launched. So people were saying, oh, well, there must not be that much, demand for the PlayStation 5. So what was interesting is, you guys probably know the pie chart guy, Z Huge or whatever. He said 10 million production units doesn't mean they'll all end up in the hands of retailers before the end of the year. But that being said, it took Sony till June 2014 to ship 10 million units to retail. So if you think about what that means, they launched the PS4 in November of 2013, and it took all the way till June of 2014 to ship 10 million units. So this does really show that Sony has a huge high expectation for demand for the PlayStation 4 to far surpass the PlayStation 5. To far surpass the PS4, which again makes a lot of sense. They have already stated that they really plan on kind of going all out and trying to get people to switch as quickly as possible. Having exclusively tied to your new console is a good way to get that. So if you can get those numbers out there at such a fast pace, I think it's going to really bode well for what they want to do. And again, people trust Sony. You already have 110, 115 million PS4 owners. It's not going to be that hard to get those people to switch over and continue using your products, because they went with you for a reason. I realize, so many people own PlayStation 4, so it only makes sense to sort of get them to sort of switch over to the PlayStation 5 as quickly as possible. Listen, they've already showcased they've already showcased some incredible games. Let's just be real. Whether or not you're a fan of all the games, I think that really kind of depends on the type of person you are. But at the same time, we're in a situation where Sony has already showed off some pretty incredible stuff, and they aren't even done yet, and they're still releasing amazing titles on the PS4. So people are going to very eagerly anticipate the next iterations of those games on the next console, and I think that's really what we're going to start to see from Sony down the line. Is they're going to have even more. Like, imagine when we start seeing stuff like God of War 2 on the PlayStation 5, right? We've already seen Horizon sequel. We're seeing, a follow-up to Little Big Planet with the Sackboy stuff. We're seeing, some incredible stuff with Ratchet and Clank using the ray tracing, and then Gran Turismo 7. And, obviously Sony has a good idea of what people want to see, and they keep showing it. The Demon Souls remake. There's so much stuff going on, and realistically, we really just keep seeing some amazing things. They know that people get excited for this stuff, and I think that's really, really interesting to sort of see. And again, I really feel like Sony are on the ball when it comes to this stuff, and that's not really a thing that's down on Xbox, because I feel like Xbox is doing a lot of things right. Like I said, and I've been saying for a long time, people that are expecting Xbox to go out there and outsell PlayStation and quote-unquote win, they're going to be vastly disappointed. There's just no way that that's going to happen, as PlayStation is such a worldwide brand. And I keep reiterating that because everybody, I was this Xbox dude, right, for the longest time, just kind of this blind fanboy. And, I wouldn't hear other people's opinions. I wouldn't do any of that. You know what I mean? That's just how I was. It was like, if it wasn't Xbox, I didn't want to hear it, I'd block you or mute you or whatever, and you didn't have an opinion because it didn't matter, because I had my own. So now I've come to realize that, a lot of times I'd set myself up for disappointment, and that's what a lot of Xbox people do. And I like Xbox, and I hope they're going to come back and do well. But a lot of people are like, "Whoa, that Lockhart's going to be $200, and the Series X is going to be $400, and they're going to completely dominate." And they've got all their services and Game Pass and this and that and the other thing, right? It's really setting yourself up for failure. Let's be real here. That Series X is $500 all day, every day, right? At least $500. So, and Lockhart, who cares at this point, right? I would never in a million years think that that's going to be $200 or less. No chance, right? So it really also comes down to games more than anything, and we really need to see exactly what can be done in that situation, in that scenario, where the games are the most important thing. Microsoft still hasn't shown us anything. Meanwhile, we keep seeing all these great PlayStation 5 exclusives, and there's rumors of all these other PlayStation 5 games that are supposed to be coming out, even like the Silent Hill stuff and things like that. So I do think that we're in for quite a treat when it comes to the PlayStation 5. Doubling production to over 10 million. Sounds absolutely incredible. And it does seem like they want to have those out really quickly. They could be far ahead. They could be going after the sales numbers of the PS2 with this thing, and I think that would be an incredible feat to have for sure. But it's going to be interesting. Please let me know what you guys think down below. I would really appreciate it. Hit me up on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, MOH space Crapgamer on Xbox Live, and PSN is just Crapgamer. Please stay safe, happy, healthy, and all that kind of good stuff, and game on. You know, I love doing these videos. Thank you for taking time out to check out one of my videos once again. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.